Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, I want to welcome everyone to Native Roots Radio as always, and I'm Robert Pilot, Wakunjahade, which means distant thunder. And tonight we're proud to bring you always, news, culture, talk about community and a little sports, and it's all rooted in our Native values and respect and trust and generosity. I just want to give a quick shout out that we're going to have Robert Lilligren on Wednesday to talk about that article that came out, and it's pretty heavy duty, and we're going to talk it through with Robert Lilligren about the way Franklin Avenue looks like a prison with all those fences everywhere, and the corridor does not look like a welcoming place. So I'm sure Robert will have a lot to talk about. Also, if you think immigrants are invading us, but don't think that 1492 was an invasion, tell us what kind of colonizer math people out there are using. So that was from George Lopez. It's awesome little statement there. Hey, I want to give a big Peony Gigi out there to everyone that came out to the Minneapolis Institute of Art for the Sunday showing of Indian Horse. And big shout out to Ajawak, who was there asking a lot of great questions. And also, I want to really give a shout out to the people that listened to the show that were there. It was great for you to come up, and appreciate you coming up and saying hello and things like that in a good way. So really appreciate that. And don't forget our upcoming event this Saturday, November 29th at 2 p.m. in the Pillsbury Auditorium again. And we'll be honoring Native American Heritage Month at Minneapolis Institute of Art with the screening of Smoke Signals. So, and again, I just want to give a quick shout out. It's free. Just sign up for it. And our friend Dr. Evan Adams, who will be there doing Q&A afterwards, and I'm sure some selfies and things like that after the screening. And Dr. Evan Adams, as you know, played Thomas, and one of the great characters of that movie. And Smoke Signals just holds up after all these years. So see you all out there. Please, reserve your ticket. It's free, and there's only like 200 seats. So I know there's over 150 or so now that have signed up. So sign up and come on down. And I just want to also remind everyone today, we're going to have Bob Blake from Red Lake on here after I talk about a few more things. And one of the things I want to talk about is just the title, or just what Smoke Signals about. If you haven't heard about it, this movie's held up really well, and it was made in 1996 off Sherman Alexie book. And Smoke Signals, the childhood friends Thomas and Victor. Hey, Victor, travel from their reservation in Idaho to Arizona to retrieve the ashes of Victor's father, Arnold, and that's played by our friend, and he's been on our show many times. Along the way, they struggle with their friendship, reckoning their varying feelings about Arnold, and grapple with their cultural identities both on and off the reservation. So big shout out there. That's what it's about. Also, want to remind everyone too that Native Roots Trading Post is at Dayton's, and Wendy's Arts out at Southdale. Come on down and check it out. And that reminds me too, I just want to remind everyone that there is going to be a blackout of sorts coming up, and I just want to grab this real quick. It's a mass blackout from November 25th to December 2nd. It's the largest economic blackout protest in U.S. history, and it begins the 25th, which is tomorrow. And so shop local, and all the small businesses. Do not go to these big companies that, especially the companies that support the orange one. So I just want to throw that out there too. And also, you can get things from cause.cart, one of our advertisers, and we have our resist t-shirts on there and some art and things on there. And you can find anything and support people that are making things, but also not only making and selling things, but these people are part of the community, and it's a good cause, and that's why cause.cart will help you out in a good way. I want to bring our friend Robert Blake on here right now. And Robert, it seems like a long time since we've seen each other, but it really hasn't. And there's a lot to talk about. And I know talking a little bit about the blackout, but also talking about Thanksgiving and things like that. So great to see you as always, and welcome to Native Roots Radio.
There you go. There you go. I got that. Good to be here. Hey, man, there is so much happening, Robert, in the news. It appears that the judge dismisses the case against James Comey and Letitia James.
Yes.
Says that the prosecutor was illegally appointed.
Yeah.
I think that that's great news. I'm glad one of our branches of government is doing their job.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But in the same breath too, I don't know if you've seen this, Robert, but this just came out just recently that they're going after those former service people that did that video about the, not following bad orders, unconstitutional orders. Did you see that?
Yeah, and it appears that it looks like the way that I understand it, and I'm just getting my news from the Associated Press, Robert. So, it could please everyone. We're getting the news just like all of you, but it looks like they're investigating Mark Kelly.
Yeah.
That I'm sorry, but Mark Kelly is like a national treasure. I mean, his wife, was shot in that, and I mean, he's an astronaut,
right.
Served his country honorably. Yes. It seems like he's a Democrat senator. I mean, I believe John McCain supported his candidacy too, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so these are the kind of people that this administration is going after with this kind of record. I question this administration actually, but that seems to be the situation right there. And it also appears that this administration is also attacking the Somali community here in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, amazing.
This is I don't know.
This is people that came to the country under a certain law because of the way things are going down, especially in Somalia. That it's not a safe place, so they've been granted things here. But hey, Robert, it's that time. I just heard the bumper music, so why don't we catch up the next segment here? I'm with Bob Lake from Red Lake, but Robert with Solar Bear with the solar news and sports. And oh man, I'm dreading that last part. Oh wow. Hey, we'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio.
If you're in need of food resources, Hennepin County is here to help. Food shelves near you are ready with fresh, nutritious food. SNAP remains open. You can continue applying for benefits. If you are expecting or have children ages 0 to 5, WIC can provide even more support. Get connected to free or low-cost food resources near you at hennepin.us/food-help. Again, that address is hennepin.us/food-help.
This holiday holiday season, bring true purpose back to gift giving with Coscart. When shopping with Coscart, you aren't just buying a gift, you're supporting artists, nonprofits, and socially conscious businesses. Coscart is the trusted marketplace connecting shoppers who care with purpose-driven brands that do good for people and the planet. They're committed to positive change, using biodegradable packaging and investing in carbon credits. Now, Coscart is extending that conscious approach right to your doorstep with a special offer. They're offering free local delivery in Hennepin, Ramsey, and Washington counties until December 19th. It's the perfect way to shop sustainably without leaving home. Taking advantage of the free delivery is easy. Just go to cause-cart.com and choose the pickup option at checkout. So make your holiday giving meaningful with Coscart, one conscious choice at a time. That's cause-cart.com.
MNsure is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MNsure has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans. Plus, get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at mnsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Native Roots Radio, and we're with our friend Bob Blake, Solar Bear with the Solar News, and we're talking over a couple things. We were just ending that segment and talking about Trump's pledge to immediately end protections for Minnesota Somalis, and it's just unbelievable. You know, it's and it's funny. It was posted on one of the social medias, Bob, and I just see all these people, these prejudiced, unbelievable people just responding, going, "Oh, that's what I voted for," and things like that. And it's like you look at it, and they're people that aren't even from the Twin Cities. You know, we have a great and large Somali group of people living here, and this is just again Trump doing his thing.
Well, you know, I would also like people to understand too that, you know, when you start looking at these heat maps of where a lot of this negative rhetoric is coming from onto our social media sites, it's happening in like not even our country. It's happening in like, you know, in Russia. It's happening in all these different countries that, you know, aren't even here, you know,
Right.
And they're on these social media sites and they're wagging the tail of Americans. And Americans, you know, are, you know, they're falling for it because a lot of folks get their news from social media. So, you know, I would ask everybody out there to, just, you know, understand that this is happening. And, you know, and I'll tell you what, Robert, you know, countries in Europe like Norway and stuff are teaching kids, you know, now about how to identify, you know, information, you know, online. And trust me, I'm guilty of it. Everyone is guilty of it.
Me too.
You know, you can't, I mean, you know, there's only so much time in the day. You can't verify everything you're reading. But,
Right.
you know, I just posted something about the average age for first-time home buyer is 59 years old. Someone corrected me and said that's 40. And, you know, Robert, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know how that's any better than 59.
Well, you know,
there's something wrong with the United States when you're 40 years old and you're the first-time home buyer. I mean,
exactly.
honestly, it should be like 22 or 21. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
and so, you know, that says a lot about our economy. That says a lot about home prices. And so what I guess my point to that story, Robert, is just that everyone, please verify the information. Don't don't go with the mob effect, right? And please look at where you're getting your sources from, because statistics are saying
I've definitely fall for that, especially those AI videos where like a eagle saving the world, and it's like, no, that's an AI video. But the show prior to us, Bob, was talking about there was another thing that came out in the news today about 20% of the homes are owned by rich people now. And so I remember watching a show where Alex Rodriguez said a part of his wealth was owning doorknobs, and it was a very generic way to say that he owns like 10,000 single family homes, for investments, and also 20,000 multi apartments here. And I'm looking this up and just going, is this a thing to be proud of?
It was something, Robert, when I was back in 2019, when I was running for city council in St. Paul, that, we were talking about this,
Mhm.
and what happened was private investment firms were buying up properties around the country, and they were artificially basically controlling the housing market.
And
And
still are.
yeah, and so one thing that I was advocating for was not to allow private investment into St. Paul. We want a city of families,
Mhm.
and obviously, Minneapolis went the other way with that. And so what you have is you have private investment firms that like BlackRock and whatnot. I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying that's them, but
Mhm.
if you look it up, it's probably them. They're owning these single family homes, and they're using bots to bid and get into these bidding wars, and St. Paul went the other way, and I'm glad they did, because
Mhm.
they were thinking about it. I was advocating for the exact opposite. But now we have families, and that's what makes a city safer, right, Robert? When you've got
Right.
families that own the homes and that are living there, they want the best for their neighborhood, for their neighbors. You just don't have, and nothing wrong with renters, but you just don't have constant renters coming in and out, and so it's more of like a safety thing too for neighborhoods. So I'm glad St. Paul went in that direction, and consequently, we don't have private investment firms, that are buying
Well,
up St. Paul.
that's kind of what happened to the East Side. I think people retired and then they or passed away. And I mean, I'm talking about process of like 30, 40 years, and then their family took over and they use it as a rental. And then the people that rented it didn't really take care of it. And then they weren't on site to see what was going on, and the neighborhood declined because at one time, when I was young, the East Side was a rocking place. I mean, Frogtown was a little sketchy, but the East Side was very family oriented, and now it's really got its issues.
Well, I I live on the east side, so I enjoy the diversity of my community over here.
Mhm.
I like the different food trucks. I'm a foodie, so I like the different food trucks. I like the different restaurants. I
Yeah,
enjoy the different folks, and I will say too that I think the East Side's making a great comeback. And
yeah,
another thing I'll say about it too is that the Heights project, if you look at all those brand new homes over there, it's going to be for the first net zero community in the state of Minnesota, and there's really good things happening over there. Xcel Energy
yeah.
is putting in a workforce development center. You got Luna and all those guys that are all building over there, getting great jobs for folks. And I think what's really exciting about this is they're really going to, with that workforce development center and with that community over there, they're really going to tap into this immigrant population that
Mhm.
who want to start companies, who want to start businesses, and who want to be able to contribute to the community. And so I'm actually really excited about it, and I see a really resurgence over here happening. And I'm in this community every day, so I'm bullish on the east side, and I feel like it's really coming back. So if that, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and like I said, all you got to do is just take a drive, Robert. Take a drive over here and look at the Heights project. You will be
Mhm.
amazed. Your jaw will drop.
Well, the news has been talking about that just lately too, that they're infusing a lot of money too, where the former breweries are on the east side, which is just some beautiful buildings ready to be rehabbed for family use and business use.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of buildings over here, multifamily, homes and apartment buildings that are going up over here. Developers are buying this land, you know what I'm saying, and putting in new stuff. I mean, it's pretty exciting. So I think everyone's going to see a resurgence from the east side of St. Paul, and I'm happy to be a part of the community. It's not without its problems, Robert, but Phelan Lake is beautiful. Everybody's out there all the time walking around it. So I see a lot happening for the east side of St. Paul. And I'm really excited for the new mayor. I'm not going to lie. I think Melvin and his team, Russ Stark and all those guys did a wonderful job for the city. And I'm absolutely proud of the job that they did for the city of St. Paul. But, here's a passing of the baton. And I really like the way the new mayor did her campaign. It was really organic. The way she got out, she shook hands. I mean, it was really cool. So I'm really excited for her team and for her leadership in the city of St. Paul. And I'm excited to see exactly the next evolution of our beautiful city.
Yeah, I agree. And the next thing is downtown, because I'm sure that what was going on there. There was some people that own buildings passed away, and now we've closed them, and now, so I think those things are being taken care of too now, and that'll be good because we need a healthy downtown too.
Well, I think that what we need to focus in is the homeless situation. I think we need to turn some of those vacant buildings into residents. And I think that we need to be able to offer wraparound and supportive services for those individuals that are experiencing homelessness. And let's create, spaces down there that, can be entrepreneurial, right? And let's get these folks involved in owning businesses, doing art shows, make a real community, you know what I mean? Getting people walking in the skyways again. And I think that that's really how we do it. And we cut deals with the new developers, you know what I mean? On saying, hey, listen, this has got to be affordable housing. This has got to be mixed use. This has got to be some retail. This has got to be some businesses. We got to get our small business people involved in downtown St. Paul, helping these folks create those businesses. I mean, I was just at St. Thomas. They had a wonderful entrepreneur event. Let's get our colleges. We have wonderful universities and colleges here in St. Paul. Let's get them focusing on helping those folks, getting them the skills that they need to like I said, create their own businesses. And I think we could see a resurgence in downtown St. Paul because we've got wonderful buildings, old architect down there, old deco buildings. You know what I mean, Robert? Because let's be honest, COVID has changed the game as far as individuals staying at home and working from home.
Yeah, definitely. Well, those are super good points. We have our friend Dr. Kate Bean down there in downtown St. Paul, and that building is beautiful. Where the Minnesota Arts Museum of Arts is, and it's amazing. So, bully on St. Paul. That was a good segment on St. Paul. Let's talk about the Solar Bear with the Solar News on the next segment. Hey, and this is Native Roots Radio, and we're with Bob Blake. Ho!
This holiday season, bring true purpose back to gift giving with CauseCart. When shopping with CauseCart, you aren't just buying a gift, you're supporting artists, nonprofits, and socially conscious businesses. CauseCart is the trusted marketplace connecting shoppers who care with purpose-driven brands that do good for people and the planet. They're committed to positive change, using biodegradable packaging and investing in carbon credits. Now, CauseCart is extending that conscious approach right to your doorstep with a special offer. They're offering free local delivery in Hennepin, Ramsey, and Washington counties until December 19th. It's the perfect way to shop sustainably without leaving home. Taking advantage of the free delivery is easy. Just go to cause-cart.com and choose the pickup option at checkout. So make your holiday giving meaningful with CauseCart, one conscious choice at a time. That's cause-cart.com.
Thinking about college? Consider Minnesota Private Colleges. These 18 nonprofit institutions keep the focus on students with small classes and professors who will get to know you. You'll find students from all backgrounds, and no two colleges are alike. And when it comes to cost, they're more affordable than you think. Find the college that's right for you at mnprivatecolleges.org/possible. That's mnprivatecolleges.org/possible.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
MNsure is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MNsure has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans. Plus, get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at mnsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
Time is running out to see Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This moving exhibition of painting, poetry, and installation art explores memory's fragility and strength, honoring stories passed through generations. The show closes December 13th, so don't miss your chance to experience this transformative work. Visit All My Relations Arts before it's gone. Learn more about exhibition hours and events at allmyrelationsarts.org.
If you're in need of food resources, Hennepin County is here to help. Food shelves near you are ready with fresh, nutritious food. SNAP remains open. You can continue applying for benefits. If you are expecting or have children ages 0 to 5, WIC can provide even more support. Get connected to free or low-cost food resources near you at hennepin.us/food-help. Again, that address is hennepin.us/food-help.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 41, then Tuesday, rain possible with a high of 47. Celebrate the holiday season with a wonderful meal at an Eat Local Minnesota restaurant. They're perfect for any occasion, from a gathering with friends, family, or a work holiday party. Check out the list of Eat Local Minnesota restaurants at eatlocalminnesota.com.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we are here with Robert Blake, and this is the Robert Show on Native Roots Radio. Hey, we want to talk a little bit with Solar Bear with the Solar News right now, and Bob, over the years, geez, I mean, it's been quite a few years you've been on Native Roots Radio. You really bring us some great reports on what's happening worldwide and on Turtle Island, and especially with our tribal nations that are really buttoning down here and trying to work a good deal for their community and for Mother Earth. Again, welcome.
Yeah, Robert. I just want to say something about just something at the end of there we were talking about in the other last segment. And the other thing is, too, is, people are driving less to downtown, right? And, that's less carbon in the air. And so, all that adds up, folks. And so I'm a little, on the fence on, do we really need to get all those people back downtown? And, can we, because that's less carbon in the air. So anyway, something to think about. The other thing, too, here, Robert, is there are reports now that are coming up, and what they're talking about is this coming winter season and the possibility of us having a very, very extreme winter. And they're saying there's a massive Arctic breakdown that's brewing, and this could be a very, because you have negative 60 degrees up there, negative 60 up on top of the planet. And so So what you're going to get is you're going to get these wobbling, right, because of the jet stream, and we all know about this. And so they're saying that it's going to be more of a jet stream in North America this year. And so this is really going to test, right, the grid. This is really going to test electricity.
Wow.
This is really going to test like the things that we've been talking about and why we have to make our communities more resilient, especially tribal communities, right?
Right.
Rural communities. So I just want to put that out there because this is serious stuff. And, there's been plenty of people that have, died because of extreme cold, extreme heat. And so this is why I've been advocating for, renewable energy, battery energy storage systems in our rural communities, getting our people trained up to understand how to work this, how to repair it. And so I just want to be able to throw that out there that, it's really going to be interesting this winter in actually seeing. And so you're going to see more and more stories coming out from the press about this because the meteorologists are kind of ringing the alarm bell on this for this winter.
Yeah, I did see that too. That's I'm in denial. We got to go down to your condo down in Hawaii for a week. Invite down there, Hoa.
Yeah, and I don't want to keep on bringing up bad things, but they're talking about the collapse of the current and the Atlantic, and and so all this, guys, is related to climate change, and so we really have to start taking this serious. The COP conference down in Brazil, people are kind of saying it's kind of like empty promises, and the United States didn't show up there.
Right.
But here's a surprising story that came out of that conference, Robert. China has really been trying to take the lead on this now. And
Wow.
I'll tell you what, that's a world leadership ploy. And, they are investing heavily in renewables, and they are, selling to all these different countries, massive solar panels, massive technology. So I'm just going to say, man, like kudos to China for doing this. But at the same time, Robert, they are the biggest emitter of greenhouse gases. They are the second biggest emitter. The United States is still first.
Yeah, definitely. And I know too, with all these tariffs and, when you start a fire and then put out the fire, think you're a hero, but these tariffs are still out there. A lot of them are still out there, but China has not bought our soybeans since the tariffs still, even after the orange one lifted it a few days ago or maybe a week ago.
Yep. And then another thing that just came out is there was some studies being done about basically data coming in about maybe telling the Democrats not to talk about climate change. And actually the statistics are showing just the exact opposite.
Right.
So this is a really interesting article that's out there. It breaks it down to percentage points and voters and what they, and what they're worried about. And climate is one of them, Robert. So I think this is a great article to check out. I enjoyed it. But it's something to look at. It's in the newrepublic.com.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's just, we've been eased into this now. There's so many issues going on. And I don't know if you knew this, Robert, but the last big protest that Wendy and I went on, I had a sign that said too many issues for one sign. And that's the way I feel like every day. My goodness.
It's really complicating, Robert, and I think that there's a lot of anxiety, and there's a lot of people out there that and I feel like social media and our news cycle and our 24-hour news networks don't help because it's constant bombardment, right? So I really feel like people, self-care is really important at this time. Take care of your families, enjoy the holidays. Spend time with your family. But it would be a lot nicer too if someone like Kamala Harris was our president, because we'd probably all be at brunch right now. And we wouldn't be worried about the world the way we are, because we know competent people are at the wheel. So,
I'd be wondering how I could get a selfie with her again,
exactly.
Instead of going,
so
is this orange one going to pass away here?
So I go back, Robert, to the point of how important voting is, right? And everybody, we have to participate. The social contract, we all got to look out for each other in society. And I know we're coming up on time here, Robert, but I think it's important that we bring up the elephant in the room, and that is the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, no, we still have another segment, and we have like 3 more minutes in this one.
Oh, okay. I thought I'm
going to keep you to the end of the show because I started you out late. Is that okay?
Okay.
Unless you got to go.
Oh, no. I just wanted to make sure we got to the elephant in the room.
It's so sad. And what's probably glorious to our listeners, because we're in civic media all over Wisconsin, is that they're going to be very gleeful with all the talk that we're going to have. I'm just going to sit here dazed and confused, just going, what happened to the quarterback whisperer?
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, they deserve it. Also, too, Robert, I would like to tell the listeners out there that my 50 States of Sustainability episode is going to be airing on PBS January 12th, 2026.
Wow.
Yeah. So they've got 50 states of sustainability. So they cover 50 stories, right? About individuals that are making difference in those states. And they chose me, Solar Bear and Native Son, to highlight. And they came and they did a big old, oh boy, it was a lot of work, Robert. but excited for it to air. And I just want to let you know that if it's not on your PBS schedule, your public broadcasting schedule, your local PBS station, to tell the listeners out there to please call your PBS station and ask them you would like to have them air the 50 States of Sustainability episode featuring Solar Bear and Native Son. It's episode 2 of season 2. So just letting everybody know that. Just a little shameless plug there. And then I just found out recently too, Robert, that my BBC episode is in just got done finished editing, so they will also the BBC will be showing my story across the pond, is what we like to say, Robert, across the pond.
Well, this will truly be the decade of Robert Blake, starting right now. That's awesome, and I'll be watching it and hoping for a quick shout out about Native Roots Radio.
Yeah, I know. That's what I should have said to him. I should have. I know, right? Rob, I don't know.
This shirt.
They did so much taping of me. I have no idea what they've even taped now. I don't even remember how it all came together, actually. So you could be in there, actually. You could be in there.
So you'll be excited to see it, too, because you don't know what it's about or what it's
I swear, I totally forgot because I was running from one thing to the next, and that was literally my life. But Robert, that's one thing too, is like now I've got a great staff and they're really taking a lot off my plate now. So the Solar Bear and Solar News the Solar Bear isn't running around all the time. So that's a really good thing.
Well, yeah. Well, when you can run around, you have people in the background helping you out. That's what's important.
That is true. And we are going to start focusing. I've got a social media person now. And so we are going to start focusing in on that kind of stuff. And it's just something, Robert, that, like I said before, and I told you before on the show, that I really didn't concentrate on because I didn't feel like it was, relevant or, it's one of the 7 grandfather teachings is humility and being humble. Right. And so I really didn't want to, go in that direction. But, another person told me that when I tell my story, it uplifts everyone too, because it's a collective issue. So anyways, I hear you, and I'm going to keep moving in that direction.
That's awesome. Let me know how he works out, because I struggle with that too. I've really picked up a lot of watchers on TikTok. And again, I only need 20 more people to like or to follow me on TikTok in order for me to go live, so I can start going live on my show. So that'll be cool. Hey, we're with Bob Blake, and we're talking about a lot of things, but we have one last segment here, and it's going to be a sad segment. And so I'll be dreaming of when baseball season starts. But hey, up next, Bob Blake with the Solar Bear and the Solar Sports. Ho!
If you're in need of food resources, Hennepin County is here to help. Food shelves near you are ready with fresh, nutritious food. SNAP remains open. You can continue applying for benefits. If you are expecting or have children ages 0 to 5, WIC can provide even more support. Get connected to free or low-cost food resources near you at hennepin.us/food-help. Again, that address is hennepin.us/food-help.
Thinking about college? Consider Minnesota Private Colleges. These 18 nonprofit institutions keep the focus on students with small classes and professors who will get to know you. You'll find students from all backgrounds, and no two colleges are alike. And when it comes to cost, they're more affordable than you think. Find the college that's right for you at mnprivatecolleges.org/possible. That's mnprivatecolleges.org/possible.
This holiday season, bring true purpose back to gift giving with CauseCard. When shopping with CauseCard, you aren't just buying a gift, you're supporting artists, nonprofits, and socially conscious businesses. CauseCard is the trusted marketplace connecting shoppers who care with purpose-driven brands that do good for people and the planet. They're committed to positive change, using biodegradable packaging and investing in carbon credits. Now, CauseCard is extending that conscious approach right to your doorstep with a special offer. They're offering free local delivery in Hennepin, Ramsey, and Washington counties until December 19th. It's the perfect way to shop sustainably without leaving home. Taking advantage of the free delivery is easy. Just go to cause-cart.com and choose the pickup option at checkout. So make your holiday giving meaningful with CauseCart, one conscious choice at a time. That's cause-cart.com.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we're with Bob Blake, and we're talking about the Solar Bear with the sports news right now. And I kind of feel like J.J. McCarthy right now. I kind of feel concussive, I think it's the word. Welcome back, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, man, Robert, I'm telling you, this is bad. I don't want to give up on this kid, but man, I'm telling you, man, this is not good. It comes down to, like, do we want to waste a great team on, a quarterback? And I mean, this is the hard piece, right? And I look at, we let Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold go, and they're on two number one teams. Other quarterbacks in this guy's class, Bo Nix, Drake May, Penix are having really good seasons. We did have an opportunity to grab Bo Nix, but we took, J.J. McCarthy instead. J.J. was given plenty of time to learn, to watch and learn, to soak it up, so to speak, with his injury last year. And so I think a lot of what everyone is feeling right now is he a bust, because he's had a number of games here to sort of get it together, and it's just not coming, it's just not coming. And Robert, here's the thing, the NFL, I mean, it's you're the best players in the world are in this thing, you know what I mean? Best football players. And so, this isn't college anymore. People are moving, at under 4.0 speed coming at you.
Yeah.
It's just a lot quicker, and you either have it or you don't. And
Yeah.
I really honestly feel like the Vikings are going to have to figure this out. It looks like Max Bosner, right, is going to
Yeah.
come in.
The Gopher walk on.
Yeah, the Gopher walk on is going to come in and quarterback this team now.
Well, you know what they say, what the NFL stands for, not for long if you're playing like JJ McCarthy, and it's a sad deal, but the game looks too big for him.
I
really,
absolutely agree, Robert.
Crazy.
Yep, the game looks too big for him. And that's unfortunate. I think he'll be just fine in life. He's got a good 10 million or whatever he got from the Vikings. I don't think there's no worrying about this kid. But the reality is that KLC has to do something, and so does Kwesi, and they can't allow for this to continue too much longer. I mean, you've got one of the greatest wide receivers ever. We're wasting this kid. We're wasting JJ Jefferson. You know what I mean? We've got Jordan.
Is he going to ask for a trade? Do you think? I mean, because like you said, the window is going to be very small here for.
I think if the Vikings don't pull it together here and show JJ something, I think it's worth Justin Jefferson looking. Yep. If they don't do something here and do something now. But hey, listen, here's the deal. I think the season's over with, Robert. I'm sorry to say to the Vikings fans, I think it's done. And we need to start thinking about how this is going to look for next year and who our quarterback's going to be. And that's what Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi are going to have to do. Bottom line.
Well, we got the Frost starting out their season, the all-women professional hockey team, and a shout out to them. 2 championships in a row, going for 3. The Lynx got a really good draft choice.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2. Yep.
So that's amazing how they do that. I don't even know how do you get. There's a drawing, and there's like a 28% chance that they would get a good pick, and they got the second.
Yeah. Yep. The Wild won their 4th straight. So
that's awesome.
They beat the Penguins 5-0, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I guess they fell apart down in Phoenix, but they have been playing good ball, Robert. So the upside here to the Minnesota sports fans is we got the Timberwolves, we got the Wild. I would like to see the Minnesota Timberwolves in their 3rd straight Eastern Championship, and I would like to see them go to the NBA Finals. And nothing for nothing, but I'd like to see the Wild, in the playoffs this year. I went saw a Wild game, a couple of Wild games last year, and they were absolutely fun. I went to the basketball game, and it was a great time. So, I think we have a lot to look forward to this winter here in Minnesota. And so, let's just keep it going. But yeah, the Vikes are done, Robert. Sad to say.
Wait, I have to find a sound effect for that. No, not that one. That's the Vikings season.
It looks like it's going to be a 3-way race in the NFC with Detroit, Green Bay, and Chicago. Chicago, who would have believed this? But Chicago is on top.
Right.
And so
look at their coach. They brought somebody in and knows how to run an offense.
Well, I hear you on that, but I think Caleb Williams grew as a professional. I think Caleb Williams, it's one of those things. You either do it. It's like you get thrown out in the deep end of the pool, and you either sink or swim. And Caleb Williams is swimming, and he's finding success in Chicago. And you've got, and so they're having a good season. Detroit is got a great team. And then of course the Green Bay Packers, Josh Jacobs, their running back was out, but Emmanuel Wilson came in and had a spectacular game, like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Packers. So
Well,
talk
the thing
about,
with the Packers too, they're like one of the youngest teams still in the NFL, and
well,
they're,
and they got,
they're doing this well.
yep, exactly, Robert. And they've got probably one of the greatest of all times, Micah Parsons, who's the defensive end,
Yeah.
who is like a one-man wrecking machine. So, you look at what the Packers got right now. I think they look strong. I think the Vikes got to sit here and start rebuilding. They got to get clear with the team, and let's see this three-way race take off. But sorry, Kevin. Sorry, KOC. Sorry, Quasi. You guys are going to have to go back to the drawing board. But man, boy, did it look promising this year with the team they put together. It was just absolutely amazing. We just had to get that quarterback situation, and he's the guy that drives the car. Honestly,
Right, exactly. So when you stop the run, like the Packers did, you can go after him full blast, and that's what they did. And again, that field looked too big for him.
But like I said too, I mean, he couldn't even get the ball to the receivers. I mean, he was overthrowing them, he was underthrowing them. I mean, Tom Brady, who was calling that game, didn't want to come down on him because he's a Michigan guy. But he was
Right.
like, Tom Brady was like, I don't even know what's going on. You know what I mean? And Tom Brady has probably got one of the finest football minds ever in the NFL, 7-time Super Bowl champion. And he was sitting there saying, I can't even tell what's going on.
Yeah. Well, let's see what this young guy for a Gopher can do, and see if the quarterback whisperer can work with him, because we were afraid of this. JJ was brittle, and he got hurt last year and was out the whole year, and then we got this former number 1 pick that wasn't doing well in other teams and did very well, but at the end there, I think they made that decision because of the playoff game in the last couple games of the season where Darnold didn't look that good.
Right. And I want to say too, I mean, I think, what they could have did was they could have probably offered him a contract after the season there in the playoffs, and maybe it could have been a different story, but could have, should have.
Right. Hey, well, thanks, Bob, with the solar news and the sports. Really appreciate you. Have a great Thanksgiving week, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Thanks, Robert. That's the Solar Bear with the solar news and sports.
Right on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll have Arvina on, I'm sure, and she'll be talking about and gloating a little bit about the Packers herself. Hey, we're still here. We are the 7th generation.
The city of Minneapolis